Hey guys, April Melvin here, and today is going to be a ministry update. And guys, watch to the end. I'm going to read one of my scenes from my fiction book that is not terrifying at all. Okay guys, before I get into the main part of the update, I do want to take just a quick sec and ask that you guys please like and subscribe to my channel. I put out new content on Thursdays, that's my main video, and then I also have my Tuesday rant. And so these videos are faith-based, they are a bold and yet balanced and always biblical look at our modern world. So if that sounds like something that would interest you, then hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring that bell. Okay guys, so this is going to be a pretty quick update because I haven't added too many new things. Again, it's fourth quarter and my mild-mannered daytime job is insurance broker, and fourth quarter in my world is insane. So I haven't been able to add a ton of new things, but I have done some new things, and one of those things is my Tuesday rant. And I have to tell you guys, I have had a ton of fun with these. Basically, I come on and I rant about some Christian thing that's been driving me crazy for roughly 10 minutes. They range in topics. I think the first one was about, females in marriages, how we should want to have sex with our spouse. The second one was about people using the scriptures as a way to stab other Christians. I'm kind of sick of that. And then this last one was just how people feel like they need to have an opinion about other people's callings. And I really I needed to rant about it. So if you guys have not checked those out, I would encourage you guys to check those out. I'll start making different playlists. That is one of the things that I am adding on my list to do in January, to break up my videos into different playlists so that they'll be easier to find. And then I also am thinking about adding, and let me know if you guys think this would be a good idea, but something about the books that I'm reading. I'm an avid reader. I read probably 6 to 8 books a month. I'm not exaggerating, although as I say that number out loud, that's kind of ridiculous. But I have a hard time finding new books. I'm incredibly picky. And so if that would be of interest to you guys, let me know. But I'm thinking about creating a book review section on the different books that I'm reading. But that's not going to come anytime soon. That'll be a next year project. And that's it as far as the YouTube channel itself. I have added several new subscribers, which is incredible. I'm at 61 right now, which is unbelievable. And so thank you guys to all the new subscribers. And it's due in part to me joining a couple of Christian YouTube communities on Facebook, and everyone there has been so incredible and so supportive. It's been great to not just get feedback on my channel from other creators, but I've also been able to watch other channels. And there's so much really cool content out there. So I've really been enjoying that. So if you are one of those creators, thank you guys so much. And seriously, I am totally crushing on your channels. They are awesome. As far as the Facebook group and the website, really haven't done much with those. I have figured out, in passing, as I just am randomly thinking about this, I have figured out my blog problem. Stay tuned, but I have figured out how to fix that. Here was my problem. I was having a hard time figuring out how to archive my videos, and I know that that sounds ridiculous, but as I was doing something else, the solution popped into my head. So starting in January, I will start adding my YouTube videos to my website and then promote my website a little bit more, which I'm excited about. And then the Facebook group, Mighty Mamas, that's continuing to grow. I think we're at 836, which is so incredible. And again, if you are not familiar with what that community is, it is just a community of people that love Jesus. So we do daily devotions, Monday through Friday, where I come on for 10 minutes and we read the scriptures together. And then throughout the day, we'll post inspirational quotes or memes or just things that inspire us throughout the day. It's about cleaning up our Facebook feeds to have more Jesus during our day. That's at least what I want. So that's what's going on with the website and the Facebook group. A little bit of growth on the Facebook group, and absolutely nothing has been done with the website. Again, I have not checked it, so I sincerely hope that it is still working. And now for my writing update. I still have not gotten back to the nonfiction. That's still, put that aside. I'm waiting till after I get through the craziness of fourth quarter so I can take a deep breath and really dive into the final edits for it. Mostly because editing, that's going to be challenging. It's like my baby. And so cutting parts out that aren't good is going to be really hard for me. So that'll start after I get back from fourth quarter, which I'm excited about. But I have been working on my fiction, and that has just been really fun. Again, I love to read, as I said earlier in the video, and so just exploring this has been incredible. And I can't wait to start my next nonfiction. Of course, I have to finish this one first. But I have several scenes written, and so I thought I would share with you one of the scenes. This is one of the main characters, Ruth. She is my favorite character. So I told you this is a mix between the Yada Yada Prayer Group and the Golden Girls, and so I know it's cheesy, but each of the characters corresponds to a Golden Girl. And so Ruth is my Blanche. She is overly dramatic. She's not promiscuous. It is a Christian book, but she is definitely high drama, high energy. She loves to be the center of attention. She may or may not remind me a little bit about me, but I digress. That may be why she's my favorite. So anyway, this is her very first scene in the book. I can't believe I'm gonna read it to you guys. Keep in mind, this is my disclaimer. This is a first draft, so it's incredibly rough. I'm sure it will need a lot of polishing, and if you hear something, let me know. It's terrifying. All right, Ruth had lived on Goldhaven Circle for 23 years, and as a long-term resident, she felt that it was her duty to monitor the neighborhood. Her keen sense of observation had served this area well. She'd caught the culprit that'd been destroying everyone's jack-o'-lanterns. Turned out to just be a raccoon, but it could have very easily been a gang of dangerous hoodlums. She single-handedly saved the day by grabbing Grace's wedding dress off the front porch. The dry cleaner had left it out there, and the clouds looked like it could have started pouring at any second. They didn't end up raining that day, but it would have been a real tragedy if it had, and Ruth hadn't been there to save the day. And she always made sure to bake her special Christmas gingerbread cookies to pass out every year. It wasn't officially Christmas until she had passed out her gingerbread cookies. This level of security required constant vigilance, though, which is why, as she was monitoring her beat today, she found herself watching her new neighbor, Sarah was her name, Ruth was pretty sure, and Sarah was attempting to change her own tire. It was not going well. Mom, what are you looking at? David came alongside Ruth and pulled the curtains back to peek outside. Ruth gestured with her coffee mug. My new neighbor seems to be struggling with her car. David leaned closer to the window, squinting his eyes. Is she trying to change her tire? Ruth took a sip from her mug. It would appear so. David turned back to Ruth, tilted his head, and gave her a look. How long have you been standing there watching her? Ruth glanced up at her grandfather clock. Oh, about 25 minutes or so. Ruth chuckled before taking a sip of her coffee. It took her, I want to say, 13 minutes to figure out where her jack was. 25 minutes, David explained. Why didn't you say something? I'm going to go over to help her. Ruth's eyes lit up a little bit. Oh, that's perfect. Just let me slide on some shoes. I have been dying to see the inside of her, introduce myself. David did not bother to respond, merely shook his head as he headed out the door. Ruth scurried to her bedroom and shoved her feet in her closest pair of sandals. She had tried to hurry after her son, but it was impossible to catch up. His long 6'3" legs meant Ruth would have had to sprint, and that certainly was not happening. Since she was decidedly bringing up the rear, she missed the first interchange and arrived as David was lowering the car to the ground. Oh, that does make sense. You use the ground to hold the tire while you loosen the bolts first. The neighbor, who Ruth is pretty sure is Sarah, smacked her forehead in frustration. That's a common mistake, David said, but don't worry, I'll get this tire changed pretty quickly. Thank you so much. I'm late for my shift at the hospital. You're a real lifesaver. Hi, I'm Ruth. Ruth stuck out her hand towards Sarah. She turned around, startled, having just noticed Ruth. Hello, my name is Sarah. She's my mother, David said with a grunt as he loosened another lug nut. Oh, Sarah nodded and reached for Ruth's hand. Your son is saving my life right now. I really appreciate him coming over. Thanks. I saw you struggling and asked my single and very handsome son to come over and help you, Ruth said as she smiled down at David. David gave her a dirty look and held it while he wrenched another bolt loose. Ruth just grinned back. Well, that was nice of you, Sarah started. You live in that white house across the street, right? I think I've seen you outside in your flower garden. Yes, that's my home. You're welcome to stop in anytime for coffee and a chat. Speaking of coffee, David looks a little thirsty. Ruth left the hint hanging, hoping Sarah would pick it up. No, I'm fine. David, don't be silly. We can't have you passing out due to a lack of hydration. Sarah, would you mind if I popped in your kitchen to get David a small glass of water? Ruth asked, giving Sarah a sickeningly sweet smile. Sarah cocked her head to the side. I can get it. I'll be right back. Sarah turned and walked towards the front door. Ruth was right behind her. This house had been her dear friend Marjorie's home, and she was desperate to see what Sarah had done to the place. She'd only been there 6 months, but that was still plenty of time to paint. Beverly would have rolled over in her grave if all her beloved wallpaper had been taken down. Of course, Ruth, an interior designer, desperately hoped it had been taken down. It was hideous, and she had been trying to convince Marjorie to let her remove it for years. Sarah opened the door and left it open a crack, and a crack was all Ruth needed. She gently pushed the door open and gasped out loud, startling Sarah into turning around. My dear, you've been robbed! Ruth gasped, clutching her heart as she walked through the front door, all thoughts of stealth straight out the window. And on my watch! How could I have let this happen? Have you called the police? Oh, maybe we should call the newspaper too. I don't know what the protocol is. I haven't been robbed. Sarah turned back to look at Ruth, her hands on her hips, her face turning a deep pink. Why would you think I've been robbed? Well, your home has clearly been ransacked by vandals, Ruth explained, gesturing around the room at the wreckage of Sarah's living room. Sarah's eyes got wide and she dropped her chin. You think my home has been ransacked? She threw up her hands in the air. Why would you think that? Ruth looked around at the living room. It looked like a laundromat and a Chinese takeout place had engaged in a battle and neither side had won. She caught Ruth staring with her mouth slightly open. I haven't had a chance to straighten up. Ruth just nodded, still looking around the room. I mean, I didn't exactly think I was going to have guests, Sarah continued as she grabbed Chinese takeout boxes, stacking them inside each other. Ruth continued to nod, taking a deep breath. She attempted to pull it together a little bit. I was just surprised to see your mess. I mean, your rug. It's so unique and different. Rolling her eyes, Sarah stormed into the kitchen. Ruth slowly walked through the living room, careful of where she stepped. Entering the kitchen, Sarah turned around and looked at Ruth. Are you holding your pant legs up? She asked. Ruth dropped them and gave her an awkward smile. I just didn't want them to touch the floor because I didn't want to bring in any dirt. The kitchen was more of a disaster area than the living room, although Ruth wasn't sure how that was possible. There was even more Chinese takeout containers on the counters. Dishes were piled so high in the sink that Sarah had to move them around to get to the faucet for the water, and the floor was so sticky with what Ruth did not know. Ruth was afraid she was going to become a permanent fixture of Sarah's home. Okay, I've got the water. Sarah holds up the glass. It's time to go back outside. Great. Ruth passes on a smile and squints towards the glass. Sarah drops her smile. Yes, Ruth, the glass is clean. So Ruth and Sarah, they actually become really good friends, and Sarah is the person that Ruth mentors. So she is the person that Ruth becomes really close with. Ruth mentors her, and it really is a pretty fabulous relationship. So that's just one of my characters. I have 3 others, but this is my Blanche, and this is one of her scenes. Again, it was a rough cut, but I would love to know what you guys think. And let me know if you guys want me to read more of the scenes, but that's my book Babies. Oh my gosh, I have 2 babies now. That's my book Babies update. All right, guys, so that's the ministry update. Not a ton of new stuff going on, just a couple of things. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the reading. Sorry, that was the first time I had read through it out loud, so I'm a little rough, and the chapter's a little rough, but that's what I'm working on. I would love your guys' feedback on it. And then guys, if this channel seems like a good fit for you, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, hit the like button, and let me know in the comment section. And then if you guys wanna hang out with me more, don't forget to check out the Facebook group Mighty Mamas. There we post, again, the daily memes, the daily devotions, all that good inspirational stuff throughout the day. And then guys, come back next week. I am not entirely sure what I'm gonna talk about. I know I said that I was gonna talk about Jesus since we're coming into the holiday season, but stay tuned. I will have a topic for next week, next Thursday. You guys hopefully will not wanna miss it.